Yeah, good afternoon, YouTube. It is your boy Zod. Anyways, man, for the people that's new to the channel and the ones that are slowly coming to the channel, if you like what you hear, man, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, bing. You may not hear that sound, but just bing, hit it once, and you'll see it pop up, and just for everything. And for the people that follow my channel since day one, or the ones that come on and continue to follow me, man, salute to you. For my haters that continue to flock and to every thing that and hang off absolutely every word that Zod has to say. I respect you too, in a sense. Like I won't say what I truly think about you, but I'll just say I respect you because a lot of times when people are too busy in their regular life handling real things such as family and jobs, they have no time to really sit down and watch all my videos. And some I know feel a little guilty about it, but life is the way it is, and you got to handle your business priorities, and then guilty pleasures like hearing me talk that spice, you know what I mean? So they can't really get into that. uh but you haters, you keep it alive because you, like I said, you hang on absolutely every word that I say, like it's like as if I'm God or something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. I don't know. Is it the chocolate? Is the beer? Something attractive about me. Not to go on that pace, because some of you get a little bit too excited. Your little chiclosos, like, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, what I really want to talk about is this whole thing with Andrew Tate and his brother being arrested in Romania. And I would like to say that it's come as some sort of surprise, but even he himself said in a prior interview that had did on some little podcast. Well, now I won't say little podcast, but that he had did on a podcast. He spoke. He said, if there's, I think, some such as 3 deaths. The first death is they take you off social media, the cancel culture and all that, and they try to silence you. 2, they put you in a position such as prison, or fabricate some type of things in order to lock you away. And the third one, which was disturbing, not only to him but to a lot of people, because it's truth in what he says, is death. And it's just like the feds. Like, the feds, what they do is, a lot of times when they can't find, and I want to just say the feds, but just a lot of law enforcement in general, like if they cannot catch you for anything, they fabricate in order to get you off the street. They don't really care if it's right or wrong. They just want to get you off the street because in their eyes you're guilty. And not even for that crime in particular, just for many crimes that they weren't able and not intelligent enough to catch you, or you just weren't doing, period. But that's what he was saying. First is social media, they kill you. You know what I mean? Because they get you off social media. They did a lot of people that were knowledgeable about a lot of things like that. They get them off social media. And then if that don't work, they fabricate something in order to put you in a cage, which this is a prime example of what happened. Because if you really get into the meat and potatoes of it, they're saying that these guys should be released within 24 hours, but now they're saying, that they have to go through their investigation. If they had you just like that, like they would be a lot more cocky about the situation. I know they were excited, you know what I mean, because you don't get that much news out there to rush up in somebody that was on Andrew Tate's level, you know what I mean. I know they're excited. It was a big catch for them because they knew all around the world would be watching. Hopefully, they get out and they go through the proper steps in order to pay these people back, and not in the physicality way, but just through legal terms, you know what I mean. And because it's wrong, you know what I mean, to fabricate anything in order to get people in jail. And it's like, who's to know exactly what happened? Do I believe that they were actually, and I'll get into that. The whole reason why Andrew Tate and his brother are incarcerated at this point, are being detained, is because they said allegedly they were running a sex trafficking, or some on that line. But it's kind of funny, but not funny in a sense because sex trafficking is funny. It's just funny that he just said that the 3 deaths that you suffer in social, like I said, I'll repeat again, social media, they get you off, cancel you, and then after that, when you still didn't learn your lesson, and you still continue to talk on stuff that actually bears some fruit, they get you in, they put you in jail, you know what I mean, just to get you out the way. And if at that, if that is not enough to deter you from stop speaking on things that they feel you shouldn't speak about, then you die. And I mean, we've seen many movies on it, and we've seen it based on real life, exactly what happens when you start exposing business that they don't want you to expose. And that's the whole thing with what's going on right now with this whole global thing. There's a lot of things that's shady and going under the radar, and people are not necessarily paying attention to. And the people that proclaim to be woke are not necessarily woke. And the people that feel that the woke people ain't woke because they say certain things or such things as, you know, people are, you know, somebody that I was reading a page, and she did put something out like, you know, you got the disinformation and all that, and it's true. I said that in a prior video, that a lot of times they'll put things out and make things come about in order to prove you wrong in the end, that it was when it turns out to be a hoax. They allow you to think that you're getting to a certain point, and then boom, they throw that wall up again, and you're like, oh, so everybody else on the outside looking in feel as if, oh, it was a lie. All this, it was not a lie, but it can't be true, because look, they did all this, and it pointed out something, and boom, they hit this conclusion, and they show proof that it hit this conclusion because it was all fabricated. What he was saying wasn't wrong. He was speaking the truth, but because they were able to discredit in this area, that's what everybody goes in. A lot of people in life need something to believe in. It's the same as religion. If there was no God, if there was no nothing, people will go crazy. They need something to believe in. I've been in situations where people are incarcerated and they're at their lowest, and to hold the Bible or hold anything in resemblance to a Bible is something that gave them hope. It's just human nature to look for something else outside of itself. That's why people are constantly, and it's not to go down a rabbit hole or stray from the soul intent what I'm speaking about. I'm just saying that the dude Andrew Tate spelt it out, and I think it's funny that he just, I think, who was it, Greta Thunberg or whatever, the one that's I don't know, did she graduate high school? I'm not sure, you know what I mean? I got to do a little bit more research on her, but we all know George Soros is the one that lines her pockets and got her traveling around running her mouth about things she absolutely knows nothing about. And it's basically everything that's been spoon-fed to her, and she's just one of those, like, here, like, you know, it's like a little chick that's in the, you know, if they don't get fed, they just wither and die. Well, that's basically her. Like, he's giving her money to actually send her places to make it seem as if what she says has some sort of bearing or truth to something, you know what I mean? But so after he slays her and slays this other chick, now they snatch him up. It's just like you went at it with somebody that, you know, the feminists just didn't want you to go at it with, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things. It's unfortunately, we're up against the wall as man, and even if you're a female and you're rooting for males, you're up against the wall, because the new feminine movement in this whole thing is such as you don't need man because men do this. But yet, I mean, I won't go into the whole, you know, as far as like people using things that are not necessarily attached to their body in order to emulate something that they've known or may have heard about, you know what I mean? We'll just leave it at that, because I don't want to anger nobody, because at the end of the day, people are entitled to do what they want, say what, and to a certain extent, as far as like who you want to be with, you know what I mean, it's one of those things, you know what I mean? But the whole thing with Andrew Tate, man, like, I'm hoping they release him and you know what I mean, him and his brother soon, because I already see what they're trying to do. But that's what happens when you're up against the powers that be. They're gonna do whatever they need to get out to. I can name probably about 20 YouTubers that have been removed from YouTube just because they're what they said wasn't according to the status quo of today's times. Like, you know, back in the days, people had thicker skin. You could say certain things. And the whole thing with Andrew Tate, he's just, you know, they say he's misogynistic, but it's not. He just sees things in a certain light. And when you go to a lot of other countries, they see it the same exact way. And not just from males' point of view, but from females. It's traditional roles that people have played. Now, I'm one of those that I'm fine with females being able to go out and achieve great things. I believe that there's a lot of power in women. But do I think that your power is greater than man, as far as like from physical to everything else? Like, they say women think with two sides of their brain, but yet most people that have been you know, have been acknowledged and have been putting out there as far as like being genius has mostly been men. And that's not to take away and to say that there's no females that are not geniuses or nothing, but the numbers don't lie. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and who's to know? Like, somebody might come on here and be like, oh, this all fabricated. Einstein was really a female, and this person really didn't accomplish this, and this was taken from that. But even when we get into like race, as far as like who created what, it was mostly always males that created something that was like breakthrough. And who knows, maybe he was one of those scandalous kind of assholes that just put his woman on the background, stole her ideas, and just, you know, ran with it, and then she never really got the credit that she deserved. I believe in some sense it is like that in certain cases, but I think the majority of the time things in such, of that level, like some like achievements and being able, were created by males. Not to discredit like the den mothers and you know, people that okay, like, let me just stay away from that, because I don't want people to come on here and say I'm misogynistic, because at the end of the day, I do believe that we need women. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that wholeheartedly, because my mom gave me birth. You know what I mean? And without my dad to help her, I mean, as far as like, you know, so we need women. And but with this whole feminine movement thing, yeah, it's getting out of hand. And I think the further people remove themselves from that, yeah, it's a real disconnect. But free Andrew Tate. Hopefully, you know, in my heart, I don't believe it's true, but hopefully, you know what I mean, it turns out to be that it was just bull, and they were just using their nefarious powers in order to put him in a situation to where he will finally lose. A lot of people hate that he's outspoken, he's a male, he's getting his money. Like, you had people online saying, oh yeah, well, now we know where he gets his money. Fabricated. Somebody dispelled that instantly. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't just say man got tunnel vision, because a lot of times we can sit and multitask as well. Anyways, I gotta get my ass to work, so I had to cut this video short. But man, free Andrew Tate and his brother, man. And for all the people that's really out there outspoken and really speaking the truth, man, continue to speak your truth. Whatever it is, speak your truth. Because nowadays they're trying to silence absolutely everything we say. Some people are gonna get on here and be like, you know what? I like the old side. I like the way, you know, when you talk and you did. But it's time to grow up. At some point, you got to articulate a lot more. You got to do research a lot more. And you can't really entertain these sack gobblers that be hanging on every thread. You have to grow up. It's time to motivate, get money, take care of your family. And don't get me wrong, and sometimes I might slide back to my old ways, because I'm human. Human, that's the key word, human. So of course I'm gonna make mistakes. And for you super ultra righteous people, I mean, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? I'm an ex-con, just trying to get my life straight. You know what I mean? And take care of my family. But like I said, I got a raise. So yeah. Anyways, hopefully you see me again on camera, not on my phone. But hey, you know, free Andrew Tate and his brother. Yeah. Free them.